And welcome back to the channel, everybody. Here, Lucas from Mars, back with another episode of this MLB Show 22 Custom League. And here we continue with opening day of this 2023 season. And the defending World Series champions here in the Houston Reapers are going to be taking the field for the first time in this season, trying to defend their title. And they're facing the Mexico City Diablos here. And you look at this lineup for Houston this season, it's really not much different than the lineup that we saw them have last year. You got Alberto Mondesi there, Alex Bregman, of course, they got him in a trade from last season, Devers, Freddie Freeman. Luis Garcia, though, he is a newer addition. He's going to be not technically a rookie. He has played quite a bit. He's had 404 at-bats over his career here shortly, but, 22 years of age. He only played 34 games last season. He's a 76 overall with beat potential. A younger option there. He's going to be the DH for a little bit in this season here. And then you got James McCann, Mike Yastrzemski, then JD Martinez, Jesus Sanchez. So that's the lineup there. It's a very similar lineup to what we saw them have last year. Mike Drew is on the bench. Brandon Noisy here is also on the bench as a backup third baseman. So yeah, very similar lineup here. And the pitching, though, this is where we've seen the most difference in this team, and maybe a little bit of decline in the pitching going into this season. We'll have to see. But you got Jose Barrios and Ryan Yarbrough still. Mike Minor is also still here as well. Ryan Yarbrough last season, a 3.64 ERA, had a pretty decent postseason. Mike Minor was incredible in the postseason for this ball club last year, and he had a 3.92 ERA during the regular season. He gave up exactly 200 hits in 197 innings, so he had a pretty decent season, but, they lost James Paxton. They don't have him anymore on the starting rotation, and there was one more pitcher that they had on this team that is no longer here. So Chris Archer, only pitched 53 innings last year, wasn't very great. He is going to be, right now, lined up as a number 4 starter, and then Adam Wainwright was signed in the offseason by Houston here, and for Adam Wainwright, this will be his last year in the Major League. He's 41 years old. He did retire in real life after the 2023 season. So this will be his final season of his Major League career. He's going to reach 200 wins this year, it looks like, which is crazy. I mean, this is a Hall of Fame starting pitcher right here in Adam Wainwright. And, last year he did pretty well, 4.12 ERA last season for the Salt Lake City Bees. So he goes into the season as 72 overall. And we'll have to see how he does. This is going to be, again, his last year in the Major Leagues. A 3.43 career ERA for Adam Wainwright. And then the bullpen here, pretty similar to what we saw this bullpen be last season. You got Orlando and De Los Santos there. Not sure if I'm saying that name correctly, but he's there. George Kirby is also here as a long reliever. We'll see how he does. He's a rookie. 25 years old, so a little bit of an older player there, only 67 overall. I'm not sure how he's going to do, but he'll be up there unless he does badly, then I can call him down at that point. But yeah, Vesia, Hudson, Seawold, Jeffrey Springs, and then their closer that they had last year, but they did sign. This is probably one of their biggest offseason signings of the entire offseason here. Probably their biggest move that they made was getting Ryan Presley to be their all-time starter, all-time closer here right now. 34 years of age, 41 saves a year ago for the New Orleans Jazz, and he is taking over as this team's closer. So that's a quick look at the defending champions here. Then you go to the Diablos, and this pitching staff is pretty much the exact same as last year's pitching staff. Brandon Woodruff, Logan Gilbert, Shane McClanahan, and Jared Eichhoff, and Jordan Yamamoto is the starting pitching here. I really like this team's starting pitching. I think it has a chance to be exceptionally strong. And you got Will Bednar, who will be a rookie this season, pitched 28 innings, got called up in the September call-up period last year. 3.86 ERA is pretty low, but the whip was really high, 1.71, so that's definitely something to watch out for. Tyler Hearn wasn't very good last year, so we'll see how he does this season. Jason Adam, pretty good last year. I mean, overall, this bullpen was fairly strong for the Diablos. You got Emilio Pagan, Adam Simber, Aaron Loop, Matt Strom, who's now going to be this team's setup guy. He pitched excellently last season. And then, of course, Josh Hader, this team's closer there at 86 overall. This lineup, a couple of changes to this lineup. You got Jake Cronenworth still leading off, but Andrew Benintendi was this team's big offensive signing here in the offseason. Benintendi an 83 overall, 75 and 78 contact ratings, great clutch, and good discipline and vision. I mean, he's a good hitter. Batted .269 at the .340 on base last year, and a 4-year contract. So he's going to be with the Diablos now for the next 4 seasons at the very least. And I mean, a .766 and a .745 OPS the last couple of seasons, 17 home runs in the last couple of years. So he's been a pretty effective hitter, for the last few seasons, and is now in Mexico City after being in Seattle last year. And then they got Tim Anderson, got him back, signed him to, I think, a 4-year deal or something in the offseason here. We'll check really quickly. Yeah, 4 years, 13.8 for Tim Anderson. They got him re-signed. There's the runner-up for the MVP award there. Yasmani Grandal at catcher. David Bodie, Josh Bell, Mike Moustakas, who is, I believe this is his last year in his contract, so we'll see if he comes back after the season is over. But then you got J.J. Bleday coming off kind of a rough season last year. We'll see if he can improve this year. Then you have Sal Frelick here at the bottom of the order. We saw him a little bit last year. He was called up in the September call-up period, and he's going to be a starter now full-time for this team. And then you got Mercado, Ortega, Austin Romine. That's a look at that bench there. And here's N.J. Melendez, a 71 overall. His catching ratings are really good. He's a good fielder. I just don't think his offense is there quite yet. 48, 47 contact ratings, 51 and 46 power ratings. The vision is really low for him right now. They just went at 48. So I think, Yasmani Grandal, this is going to be his last year. He is on the last year of his contract. And so, I mean, look at that. So he's going to be a free agent. And, we'll see what he does this year. But I certainly think that MJ Melendez will be probably just taking over for Yasmani Grandal in the next season when he heads out and when he goes to free agency. That's probably my plan at the moment. And then they drafted Salvatore Nieve, a great shortstop infielder here, 22 years of age, high A potential, like 96 or 97, 48, 55 contact ratings, 52 and 63 power versus lefties. That's really good there. 58 vision as well. I mean, he is a fantastic all-around hitter there, and a guy that is going to be a future piece to build around. And then you got Robert Hassel, a center fielder, but can also play first base. And, really even contact ratings across the board, 50 fielding, 62 arm. I mean, the defense for him is not as great, but, he's a potential guy. And he's a guy that is going to be probably trying to make an impact on this team in just a couple of years. And you go over, this is, I believe, this is a player for the AAA team there in their pitching staff in the farm system. Huey McGee, they're a closing pitcher prospect. And then Matthew Liberatore as well, 23 years of age, 66 overall in a AAA for the Houston Reapers. They don't have any other prospects on this team at all. But now we're going to get into this bowl game here. Here we go, opening day continuing. This is the second, this is the third episode of opening day that we have for you here. We'll have, in the next episode will be all opening day stuff, and then there's one more game that we will have the episode after that, and then we'll be done with opening day. But not a lot of full games left. We do have 2 full games in this episode, and then we have some more play a lot kind of stuff later on. But here's last year's rankings for this team. Really good in the pitching, 4th in ERA, 2nd in walks allowed, 10th in batting average, 1st in home runs, and then 10th in those other offensive categories. So they had a lot of homers, and they were above average offensively last year, and above average pitching-wise. And remember, they just barely lost. They did make it to the wildcard game where they lost to the New York Honey Badgers. And Brandon Roderoff last year, 3.27 ERA in 211 innings, a 1.07 whip, only 39 walks all year. I mean, he's one of the best pitchers in the entire league. There's no doubt about that. He's already got the first out of this game. Here's Alex Bregman, an 806 average OPS with 23 homers and 73 RBIs last season. See if he can kind of step up his game to a whole other level for Houston. It'll be interesting. This, a full year finally for Alex Bregman to be on this Houston team, and the trade for him really worked out for the Diablos is that's a fastball swung on and missed. Good four-seamer from Brandon Woodruff, who's got his first K of the season. Well, here now is Freddie Freeman. He is the MVP of the World Series in the postseason. And last year, 309 average with a 941 OPS, 35 homers, and 96 RBIs. One of the best all-around players in all of baseball. And an 0-2 to him here. Ground ball into the kind of the gap here. All the way from the shortstop position is Tim Anderson, playing way over there. He does make that play to get the final out. So that was a 1-2-3 top half of the first inning. And for Houston here, their ace, Jose Barrios, on the mound. He had a great postseason. He had a couple of really good postseason starts. 206 innings, a 2.8 ERA, and a 1.15 whip. 151 strikeouts to 66 walks. A really, really strong season for him last year. Of course, one of the better pitchers in the league. He's got one down here is Andrew Benintendi. His first action and his first at-bat here as a Diablo. And again, not a lot of change in these uniforms. You just have the Mexico City text at the front of these jerseys, which is really good. I really like that. I prefer it more than the unis that we had before, as that's a slurve that was way inside that Benintendi just grounds into and out. There is still shifting that you can do in this game. It is still legal, so usually, I mean, in real life you wouldn't have the shortstop playing there, but in this game they can still shift. Tim Anderson had an exactly 800 OPS last year, was a good hitter. Let's see what he can do. First at bat with the new contract, he is going to ground it to second base for the out. These Houston jerseys, though, are pretty different. I mean, no, they're not straight black. They are white here with the red sleeves and the red shoulders. I like these jerseys a lot more. I think the white and the red works a lot better than just a pure black. And it's way more conventional, way more realistic, as that is Luis Garcia striking out to Woodruff, who's got his second K. So we go bottom two, and here's Yasmani Grandal coming off of a career year, one of the best seasons we've ever seen from a catcher. 53 home runs, 121 RBIs. You know, the most home runs that a catcher's ever hit in a single season in baseball history. There, over 50 of them. So, yeah, suffice it to say, he had an unreal season with over 1 OPS. Let's see, you know, it's interesting to see how he follows that up on a contract year, as that is a... And that pitch was a ball. Now the count is full. And he is going to swing and miss. Slurve down below the knees. Good pitch by Barrios. That's his first strikeout of the campaign and of the season here in 2023. You got David Bodie up now. And David Bodie's going to take the first pitch and drive it deep and out of here to left field. Wow, home run, David Bodie, 472 feet. Ball was absolutely crushed. Longest homer that we've seen this season so far. And it's 1-0 Mexico City. Damn, we got to see where this ball landed after this swing. I mean, that was gone in a hurry. Look at where this ball went. Wow. High arcing shot almost into the second deck. Out there in left field. That ball was crushed. Man, 472 feet on the distance. That was a moonshot. And, you know, that was, I mean, I don't know how our longest home run was that in the games that we played last year, but really 470 feet is insane. That's among the longest that I've seen in this franchise here, and we got to see where this ball landed a little bit more specifically here. Way out, over and past the Lazy River kind of feature out there in left field. And, yeah, almost, well, would have been in the second deck if it was hit a little bit to the left, actually. It would have been about 4 or 5 rows up in the second deck. That was a long home run. Wow. Here's Mike Moustakas. Only batted .218 last year, had a below 700 OPS. And, again, a guy that probably will not be coming back to this team after the season is over, and a guy that's kind of nearing the end of his career anyway, as the count is full to him here. 3-2 pitch is a slurve higher in the zone than you think than Barrios would have liked it probably, but it does get the strikeout, but not before David Bodie hits that ball out of here. A crushing home run, in the bottom of the second, the Diablos score. That's their first run of the year. So we go to the top of the third. Full count, and Yastrzemski is sitting on deck, and that ball misses inside. James McCann gets handed a walk to begin his season here. As there's a man on for Mike Yastrzemski, who had a pretty good postseason, had a good World Series especially for the Reapers, as that is a pitch at the knees at 93. Yastrzemski last year, a very average 703 OPS last season, so right above average for him numbers-wise. That's a hard ground ball. That's a double play. Right to the third baseman, and around the horn they go to get the first 2 outs, and that walk wiped out and wiped away. Bad swing by Alberto Mondesi right there on that 0-1 pitch. So the count now at 0-2. And Woodruff coming at him here. It's a curveball. Nasty pitch. No chance as Mondesi swings and misses at it. Man, that pitch is filthy. And I believe the third or fourth strikeout of this game for Brandon Woodruff here through 3 innings. Here's your game for the day. And yeah, batted .218, a 621 OPS. Didn't have a very good season last year, but he did improve quite a bit. I mean, he improved his ratings. I believe he was like a 68 or 67 overall hitter going into that year, and now he's a 72 overall hitter. So hopefully, you know, we can see him kind of pick up his production in this sophomore season. As that 0-2 pitch is grounded by Frelick, and they're not going to get out at second base, as that was Mondesi there, I believe. Mondesi or Garcia, you know, it was Mondesi. He decided just to go to first. So man on second for Jake Cronenworth. It's a ground ball. It's hit hard, and the throw is offline. Oh, it pulls Freddie Freeman off the bag. That's going to be an error, and that is not going to be the second out. And Rafael Devers there, yeah, I mean, no need to rush the throw like he did in that instance. So that run, if that run scores, that is going to be unearned. That's a ground ball as it's stopped by the outfielder here, by the right fielder. There's not going to be a test to go home on that swing. Oh, man, bases are loaded now, though, as that was a good swing by Tim Anderson, his first hit of the campaign. So bases loaded, 2 down for Yasmani Grandal. 0-for-1 struck out his last time up. And Grandal is going to swing and crush it. It's to center field. It's deep, and it's gone. Grand slam for Yasmani Grandal. 5-0. Mexico City. Wow, the first grand slam of the year. And, I mean, just picking up right where he left off from last season is Yasmani Grandal. That ball was crushed as well. That one 465 feet to straightaway center. 2 really long home runs right here. As that one nearly getting it. I mean, look at how far this one went in center field. I want to see where this one landed. Over, there's a big fountain area here next to this parking lot in the center field, and wow, it actually hit off of the kind of the top of the parking lot structure there, almost in center. That is crazy. Wow, swing and a miss out of slurve. So suffice it to say, Jose Barrios struggling a little bit right now. 22 pitches in this third inning, and definitely not the opening day start he was looking for today. He's only, I mean, that's a 4-seam fastball swung on and missed. It's only a couple of pitches that have been really crushed, but a lot of damage being done on those 2 pitches that he's missed in this game to this point. I mean, a solo home run and now a grand slam by Grandal. So the Diablos have 5 runs on 3 hits and a cushion for Brandon Woodruff right now. He likes that, and he's going to take as much support as he can get. That's going to be a ground ball back up into the outfield. Alex Bregman, there's his first knock of the campaign here, and only the second hit that Woodruff has allowed so far. He's got 3 Ks, a walk, and 2 hits allowed in 3 innings. So here is Freddie Freeman. 2-2 to Freeman. He's going to be late on the fastball there. I believe that was a 96. Woodruff pumping it by him right here for the first out of the inning. Big first out of the frame, 4th K of the game. Here's Rafael Devers at the dish. 1-0 to Devers. Is a swing and a ball crushed out to right field. There is Bleday. He's out the wall and it's gone. Rafael Devers with a home run. That's his first of the 2023 season. Houston's on the scoreboard here in the 4th inning for the first time this year. And man, Rafael Devers hit 41 dingers last year. Hits, I believe, 10 of them in the playoffs, if I'm remembering correctly. I mean, was one of the biggest hitters for that postseason run for Houston. He's going to start off his season the right way with the bomb. That ball is off of the wall in the outfield and right, as all the way from center field is actually going to be Sal Frelick to pick the ball up. But J.J. Bleday almost caught that one. And this ball was almost a home run as well by J.D. Martinez. Let's see where this one actually hit off of the wall. As you see Bleday trying to go up for it. He wasn't going to be able to reach it. Oh my goodness. Wow, that was right at the top. Look at how this was a home run. Missed by inches. Wow. So a man in scoring position. Double for J.D. Martinez. One of the longest doubles he's going to have this year. That's a swing and a miss. Jesus Sanchez laid on the pitch there, and the 5th K. That's a big one. One of the biggest ones of the night for Brandon Woodruff here. As you get a look at this pitch sequence, 4 different pitches in this in that plate appearance there. So he switched it up on Sanchez in that at bat. And here's Luis Garcia for his 2nd at bat of this ball game, and he's going to fly it into the outfield here, and it is caught in left. That was Benintendi. Benintendi's playing in the outfield now in left field. He makes the play. Not before a home run by Rafael Devers. Good look at that. Listen to that sound of the bats there. Devers, number 11, crushing his first of the year. So we move on to the top of the 5th inning as a good clean inning by Barrios in the bottom half of the 4th. James McCann is at the plate here to begin this 5th inning. And he's going to swing and drive this ball. That one is down off of the wall, as it's only going to be a base hit. I mean, he played well off the wall. McCann was also not running very quickly there, so it's going to only be a base hit. But here's now Yastrzemski, ground fly ball. That's going to be into the corner, and that one's going to bounce off the wall again. It's only going to be a single, though. I mean, a little bit shorter outfield there in right, I guess. But a couple of long base hits to begin the top of the 5th inning. Now setting up Alberto Mondesi. First pitch is going to be a ground ball, and that's not what you need here. They're going to get one out there. They're not going to have a chance, though, to get Mondesi. Nearly double play ball, but it was just not hit hard enough or in the right position. First out of the inning, here's Alex Bregman. And it's a fastball at 97. Top of the zone for a huge K. 6-1 of the game for Woodruff, and this one was absolutely clutch. Wow. So now there's 2 down in the inning. Can Freeman come through with a hit to try and claw back in the game, and he pops it up in the infield. There's Josh Bell at first base, making the catch to end the top of the 5th. Man, that was a golden opportunity blown by the Reapers. They're down by 3 still, but man, this could be a closer game for sure. Halfway home. We are now to the 6th inning, though, as Barrios has been pitching well. A lot better the last couple of innings. That's a strike 3 called on Rafael Devers. Doesn't really think so, but that was indeed a strike. J.D. Martinez now is going to swing and miss, and a 4-seamer way up near his arms and near his eyes there. I mean, that was high and way inside. 8 Ks now for Woodruff, and he is going to, and that's a fly ball, and it's going to be caught. A little pop-up there, caught by Tim Anderson at short. So that's a 1-2-3-6 inning. And Brandon Woodruff, I mean, for the most part today, besides that home run by Devers, has been pitching very, very effectively. So we got 3-4-5 in this inning here, and out of the bullpen comes George Kirby. This is his first appearance here. The rookie already making a start and already making an appearance in the bottom of the 6th inning on opening day. So here's Tim Anderson, 1 for 2 with a single, a run scored today. And we haven't seen this offense for a couple of innings. Says that's a line drive, and that's going to be fair. Yes, it will be down the line and across first base. Tim Anderson's got himself a leadoff double here in the 6th. Well, now here's David Bodie at the dish. David Bodie's going to foul that four-seamer back for strike 2. As Kirby here looking for a big out and a big punch-out potentially. Here's an 0-2 pitch to Bodie, who has that home run earlier in the game. It's a four-seamer at the top of the strike zone for strike 3. And I guess maybe that's not the first one for George Kirby in his career, but that is his first of this season, as there's a line drive to center field caught by Jesus Sanchez. It must not have been his first of his career, or else they would have given me the animation there and the notification. But now Brandon Woodruff here in the 7th inning is still working and still carving these hitters up. I mean, the strikeout pitches work. He's got like 4 or 5 guys looking in this game as well. So these hitters are just not seeing the ball well at the moment. 2-2. Counting out to James McCann. And that's a swing and a miss. 94. And McCann laid on it. 10 Ks for Woodruff. He's in double digits with the strikeouts now. And, yeah, way late on that pitch was McCann. And so now Mike Yastrzemski, 106 pitches. And he finishes it with a strikeout of the side. What an outing by Brandon Woodruff. 12 Ks in 7 innings. 2 runs, 6 hits. Wow, and a strikeout of the side in the 7th to finish off the opening day. His opening day starts. Man, fired up after that inning. As we are in the bottom of the 7th inning stretch time in Mexico City with their team up by 3. And here's Mike Moustakas. 0 for 2 on the night to this point. 2-1 to Moustakas. Is a swing and a drive deep to right field. And that ball is gone. Huge home run, Mike Moustakas. It's his first of the year, and it's a 4-run lead now for the Diablos. 6-2 here in the 7th. They're not comfortable with just a 3-run lead here. They're improving that, and man, a big swing, a ball crushed by Moustakas. Not sure how many homers he's got in his career, but, you know, a very prolific hitter and a guy that's had a good major league career. One of, I think it's like 35 or 36 in this game at this point. That's a fly ball, and it's caught by Sanchez there in center field to end the 7th inning. So Mexico City tacking on a run to make the game a little bit closer. Both teams with 6 hits tonight. The Diablos, though, have been making the most of their hits in this game, up by 4. That was indeed the last inning by Brandon Woodruff in that 7th inning, and they're going to go to the bullpen here and go to Aaron Luke. Who in 29.1 innings last year had a 4.3 ERA and a 1.4 whip. The 1.4 whip, a little bit concerning. That's a little high. And so we'll see what he does here. 2-2 pitch. That's a ground ball, and that's going to be a hit. Well, that's the second hit of the game for Alex Bregman tonight. And here's Freddie Freeman at the plate. He's 0 for 3 on the day so far, though, as he fouls that slurve away. So looking to get off that schneid there and get on base in some way. 1-2 pitch. It's a cutter, swing and a miss. Yeah, not a great opening day for Freddie Freeman, 0 for 4. And here's Devers. He had a home run last time up, and he's now going to crush this ball. A cutter deep to right field, and that's another home run. Man, I don't know how many multi-homer games Devers had in the regular season. He had 2 of them, I believe, in the playoffs, and he has a multi-homer game to begin his season in 2023. Man, all the runs, all the offense belonging to him in this game. 4-6 is the 2-run lead now for Mexico City. That one even further and even more of a no-doubter than his last homer was. 443 feet to right field. Man, we have seen that's a high fly ball. My goodness. I mean, we have seen some long home runs in this game. For sure. Josh Hader is going to come out of the game here already. 3.18 ERA and 47 saves. Last season was 68 strikeouts in 56 innings. So they're asking for him to get a 4-out save tonight. And he is going to get the first of those 4 outs with that swing and a miss and a strikeout to end the 8th. But Devers just make the game a little closer here with a 2-run shot and his second home run of the game. So the Diablos here, can they add anything to this lead? George Kirby's still pitching as there's a fly ball. No, that's going to be a grounder into the outfield here and a single into right. Here's Yasmani Grandal, and 1 for 3! Swings and misses. Second strikeout that he's had in this game tonight. I mean, he's had some big swings. That one, not a very good one there. Way late on this fastball, or if it was a fastball or a cutter, high in the zone. Second out of the inning, here is David Bodie. 1 for 3 with that homer earlier. That four-seamer just barely misses. Man, that was a close pitch. Now there's 2 down. Can George Kirby just get 1 more here? That's all he needs, as it's Josh Bell to the plate. 0 for 2 in this ball game. Haven't said his name yet tonight. That's a slider that's not in a good location and driven to center field. Sanchez is out of room. That ball is gone. 3-run homer for Josh Bell. Mexico City. It's up 9-4. 5-run lead again for the Diablos. And another homer. I mean, the 4th one, I think, of this game. You have to have Bodie with a home run, Grandal with a homer, Bell and Moustakas, 4 dingers tonight. This one, 414 on the distance into center. So, George Kirby didn't really pitch very well in that appearance. He struggled a lot. He gave up 2 home runs. And out comes Alex Vesia. 20 innings for him and a 2.7 ERA. He had a good season. I don't know why they didn't pitch him more. And had a pretty... He had an inconsistent postseason for them. That's a swing and a miss and a strikeout for Moustakas there. But another homer. And the Diablos do, in fact, add some insurance in the bottom of the 8th inning. They get a 3-run home run courtesy of Josh Bell. They have 8 hits, 9 runs in this game as we go to the top of the 9th. So they're going to keep Hader in the ball game here to this point right now. And here's Jesus Sanchez, who's going to line that one and down into left for a single here. So that's a base hit. And you need base runners right now in this 9th inning if you're Houston to want to come back in this one. 3-2. Ground ball. And that's not going to do it. Oh, wow. It's a pull Josh Bell off the bag. And they're not going to get the out. So that's an error on David Bodie. Oh, boy. Now James McCann is at the plate. And James McCann crushes this ball down the line and left. Oh, it is foul. Just barely 0.4 feet outside of the foul pole. That's the closest non-home run that I've seen in this game. Wow. That would have made it a 2-run game if McCann kept that one fair. But now the bases are loaded for Mike Yastrzemski, and all of a sudden Josh Hader's in real big trouble. They take him out of the game and put in Emilio Pagan. And that's a ground ball, and that might be a double play. They get 1 out there. No, safe as Yastrzemski beats it out. That does score a run. But now it's 5. So now it's 5-9. As here is Alberto Mondesi. Tying run is on deck, as that's a line drive speared and caught by Bell at first. Man, that's a big play by Josh Bell. A huge second out in the 9th inning. And now it's going to all come down to Alex Bregman, who's 2 for 4 in this game today. So here we go. Can Bregman come through? As that's in the dirt. And going to second base is the runner, and they're going to cut him down. Yastrzemski is out trying to advance on a wild pitch. And that's how this game ends. Oh, man, that is unfortunate. You really don't want to end the game with a on the base pass like that, that takes the bat completely out of the hands of Alex Bregman, who could have, kept the game going. Man, and the Diablos here take their home opener, take the opener of their season, and hand the defending champions a loss to start 2023. So, I mean, kind of a back and forth affair a little bit, but a lot of home runs that we saw in this game from both teams combined, really. But, Mexico City, that was what they did in this game. Oh, their night tonight was totally defined by the long ball in this game. And that grand slam is pretty huge. It'll lose large in this one as the Houston Reapers lose by 4 runs. So a lot of late runs in that game by both of these teams in this one. And Brandon Woodruff getting the player of the game, getting the win in this one as he pitched really well. And you look at Mexico City, and you had an 0-for-4 day from Andrew Benintendi, so still looking for his first hit as a Diablo there. Tim Anderson, 3-for-4. Grandal, of course, had that grand slam. You had a home run from David Bodie, a home run from Josh Bell, and a home run from Mike Moustakas. Bodie was 1-for-2, as well. South Frolic went 0-for-3 in this game. But all the runs scored via the home run in this game for Mexico City there, as you look at the home runs and the RBIs. And then pitching-wise, the bullpen shaky in this one, certainly for Mexico City, but Brandon Woodruff was excellent tonight. 7 innings, 6 hits, 2 runs allowed, 1 walk, and 11 strikeouts, 2.57 ERA. He gets the win. Aaron Luke gave up 2 runs in 0.2 innings. Josh Hader only got 1 out, gave up a run, and then Emilio Pagan closed the door in the 9th inning. Houston there, 0-for-5 is modesty. Bregman went 2-for-5, 0-for-4 for Freddie Freeman tonight. Devers definitely had the best night of anybody on this offense. 2-for-4, 2 home runs and 4 RBIs. The only other RBI went to Mike Yastrzemski in this game. JD Martinez had a hit and a double. And Garcia did not have a hit tonight at all. Brios, I mean, he struggled definitely, but he actually only gave up 1 earned run in this game, going 5 innings, only giving up 3 hits, 5 runs, but only 1 earned. That error really looming large there for Houston, in this game for sure. George Kirby, yikes, 4 runs allowed in 2.2 innings. He struggled in his first appearance. I feel like that was his first of his career, but maybe this is his first of his season here in 2023. So there's the defending champions there, losing to Mexico City, who I do think is a great shot and a big candidate for a playoff team. Now we're going to move on to another couple of teams I think are going to figure into the postseason picture. These are 2 really good teams here. Toronto for the Firebirds, they just missed out on a postseason race. They actually would have probably been in the playoffs, I think, if they were in the National League. But either way, Shohei Ohtani, of course, is their ace. Hyen Ryu there, pitching in their number 2 spot. And then Luis Castillo, who had a below sub-4 ERA. He's had a sub-4 ERA the last couple of years. And then Patrick Sandoval there, and Brady Singer is the last pitcher in this rotation there at the number 5, pitching at number 5 in their rotation. So the starting line of the starting pitching, exactly the same. This bullpen is pretty similar as well. You got James Hoyt and Ryan Borucki. Both of those guys were pretty good last season. Casey Sadler, a 2.59 ERA in 55 innings. Brad Boxberger is a signing that they got from Montreal, who was very good for them. For Montreal had just over 2 ERA. Pedro Strop, they got him in the trade from Richmond in the offseason. You remember that? So he's 37 years old. He's a new addition to this bullpen. And then you got Lucas Sims as this team's setup guy. He was their team's setup guy last year. He had 30 holds and a 2.91 ERA, 1.08 whip. So he had definitely a good season there. And then Matt Barnes is this team's closer. Of course, was this team's closer last season and was fairly effective. An 83 overall, really good K and hit per 9, 42 saves. He only blew 3 of them all year, so he had a really good season last year for sure in 40 innings. But yeah, this pitching staff, I think, there might be some holes to it, but overall it's a good pitching staff. I think this offense, though, is where this team's strength lies, and I think that they're going to be a team that's going to definitely be in the mix pushing for a postseason spot this year. You got Miles Straw, who had 50 doubles last year, had a really, really incredible season and a lot of steals as well. Nico Horner at 89 overall. I hope his offense can continue to improve going into this season. Of course, Shohei Ohtani there as, the pitcher, DH, and, looking to have another excellent season. Jesse Winker batting 4th. Pete Alonso batting 5th. A couple of huge power bats. And then Hammer Candelario, who actually had a really good season last year. 87 RBIs. That was among the top of the team. The outfield here, though, that's kind of where, that's why they needed to get Eddie Rosario. But Victor Reyes right now is listed as their center fielder. We'll see if he does well there. But they got Eddie Rosario, of course, from the Richmond Rhinos. Jose Miranda was who this Firebirds team sent in return for Eddie Rosario, who last year, 272 average, a 315 on base, a 758 OPS, had a good season for sure. And there's Christian Vasquez heading off and finishing the batting order for the Firebirds. Will Myers, Louis Garcia, who can play a lot of positions, a utility guy there. And then Jefferson Profar, who can play literally everywhere besides catcher, is also on the bench. And then you got the backup catcher, Gavin Collins. So that's what this team looks like. And then they're hitting, and they don't have a ton of prospects. They do have a couple here. Jordan Gershanks is one of them. He's already 23 years old, and he's only a 64 overall. I think he's still probably 2 or 3 years away from being in the majors, so not really an amazing prospect there. One of the top guys that they do have is Francisco Alvarez, who I know is already starting in the majors right now, but I'm not going to, really improve him that much. I think this is a guy that, coming up in the future seasons and maybe even next year will be a starting catcher for this team. Has good contact ratings at 55 and, 53, I think. But, yeah, he's definitely their best prospect offensively. Diego Cartaya is here as well. I mean, he really just has pretty good defense, and that's about it for him. 48 and 50 contact ratings. He is also a catcher, so if they cover, they have a couple of pretty decent catching prospects there. We'll see what happens with that. But you go to Boston here, and, this team won the American League. I believe they're in the Eastern Division. And they won this division last year. They were a good team last year, but their pitching got kind of slashed. I mean, Mike Clevenger was a big signing. They got him from Tampa Bay and the Vipers. Last year, a below 4 ERA, was pitching pretty well. Trevor Rogers is now their ace on this staff. And then they got Alex Cobb, who they traded for from Winnipeg. And they gave the Winnipeg a pitching prospect, if you remember. And, Alex Cobb was legitimately really good last year with a 2.81 ERA. But he's, see potential 35-year-old guy. So how well will he do this season? That really is a big question, I think. And then you got David Garcia heading off the top 5. Eduardo Venezuela is a rookie going into this year. So there he is, a 71 overall see potential pitcher. Miguel Figueroa actually was a good bullpen pitcher last year. I don't know. This bullpen might not be all that great, honestly. I mean, Tanner Scott was really incredible last year. Only gave up 5 runs in 30 innings. And Brooks Raley is going to be this team's setup man. He was really good last year. And, of course, they have the best closer in the entire league in David Bednar. But, yeah, I mean, they don't have Joe Musgrove anymore. And they had another major guy leave their pitching staff. So the pitching staff is, in my opinion, worse than it was last year for them. So we'll see how that impacts this team. They got Amed Rosario leading things off. Trevor Story is back. Elander Kirk Lewis or Orias Kyle Tucker. Trevor Story is back. He only played about a month last season, and then he got injured. And then Enrique Hernandez, this is really their biggest signing of the entire offseason here, was to get him from, he used to play for the Phoenix Scorpions, and last year batted .240 with a .313 on base percentage, 757 OPS, almost 30 home runs for him. So he definitely was a good hitter last year, and you're looking to improve this offense. That's going to be an interesting player there for us to focus on and for them to get in the offseason. And then you got Dayon Ruff and Mike Ford, and whether that DH spot is subject to a lot of change right now because David Ford has not done very well in his major league career in this franchise, but we'll see what happens. Tyler Whitaker not a rookie technically. I think I kept him on the bench for a long time, but what I really should have done is call him down at the beginning of the season. But, you know, either way, he's a interesting outfielder there, I think. I believe he's an outfielder, but an interesting player nonetheless. A guy with, you know, big potential, 71 overall. And then Cosmo Vasquez, this is their biggest draft pick that they got in the draft last year. 18 years old. Really pretty low ratings, everything across the board, but, you know, he's got high 8 potential, I believe, like 91 or 82 potential maybe. But that's really their biggest offensive prospect there, and their biggest prospect in general on that team. And there's not a lot of prospects at all for the Toronto Firebirds. So we go to opening day here, and horse trade, Boston and Toronto. We are in Toronto, Canada. Toronto, Canada for the opening day game. Let's see what this team did last year. They're pitching top 10 and walks allowed with 12. Homers allowed, they didn't allow a lot at all. Third in saves. Their batting average was second in all baseball, fourth in runs batted in, and second, I believe, in that last offensive stat. So their offense was overall really good. They were average at hitting home runs last year, but as an entire offense was very, very good. And Shohei Ohtani, speaking of very, very good, I mean, he was excellent last year. 2.67 ERA and 212 innings, 231 strikeouts. That led the American League, I believe. I mean, he just had a fantastic season on the mound and a really good season at the plate. Speaking of really good season at the plate, Alejandro Kirk had that last year. 299 average and an 857 OPS. He was absolutely fantastic last year. And in terms of a contact hitting catcher, he is the best in the business, really, in this league right now. He grounds out to second base, though, for the second out of this inning. Amal Straw there taking care of it. You know, these Boston jerseys didn't change really at all, and neither did the Firebirds' road uniforms, at least, or their home ones didn't change at all either. So you're not going to see any differences in either one of these uniforms here. But that's a fly ball. Julio Urias fouls it off into the near those pitchers are throwing. Well, they're not throwing wallobs right now, but near that area as the 1-2 pitch to Urias. There's a slider. Swung on and missed. Shohei's first strikeout of his season here in 2023, and it was a fantastic and nasty pitch. Well, so here's Trevor Rogers. Nathan Eovaldi was also on this team last year. He is now with the Columbus Cardinals. So, you know, Trevor Rogers, 200 innings of 4.18 ERA. Not a bad season by Rogers last year. And, you know, he's a guy that's really young. I mean, he's only 24, 25 years old. And he's an 87 overall. I mean, he's got a lot of potential. I think he's going to be a good pitcher in this franchise. That's a swing and a miss. Shohei Ohtani is not on time on that pitch. But, you know, I would say he's maybe one of the weaker aces that is in the league, especially for a team in Boston that won the division last year and is a team that is projected to do very well. I mean, they're going to have to fight with the New York Honey Badgers this year, I think. I mean, I think this whole division is going to be really good. I mean, you got New York, who is going to be miles better than they were last year, in my opinion. And then you got Boston, who's still very, very good and is still the champions of this division. Great play, by the way, by Jesse Winker out there in left field running that ball down. And then you got Toronto, who is also in this division and is also a team that I would consider to be a team that could, you know, compete for a postseason spot. So yeah, this division is going to be very interesting. And Trevor Story here back after a major injury knocked him out for, I mean, almost like more than half of the season last year. He strikes out to begin 2023 there. And I think that's going to be a huge part of this Boston offense and how much better it's going to be than last year as if Trevor Story, you know, because last year he didn't really have that great of an offensive season. And Kevin Biggio did, though, 867 OPS. He was fantastic last year. But, yeah, Trevor Story is going to be a big part of the equation here for this offense this season, as that's a drive that is all the way beating the shift here and all the way to the wall. That's going to be a double for Kevin Biggio. So that's the first extra base hit for the Boston Barons on the season. And here's Kike Hernandez, or Kike Hernandez. That's a slider at the knees for strike 3. First AB as a Boston Baron is a strikeout, and a great pitch again from Shohei Ohtani, who's got a couple of Ks already. We're now bottom of the second. Here's Jesse Winker, who had a 919 OPS, 23 homers, and 72 RBIs, a 313 average last year. He was absolutely fantastic. 0-2 pitch. That's a slider. Swung on and missed. Slider way outside the zone. Rogers with his second K. 2 down now in the inning for Hammer Candelario, who had an 819 OPS last year. 1-2 pitch to him. Fly ball into the outfield. Kevin Biggio there, making the grab to end the second inning. So far, a pretty tame game. Not a lot of offense to this point so far on the night. Here's Mike Ford. His first at-bat of the season here. 1-2 pitch! There's a four-seamer at the knees for strike 3. Ohtani's got 3 strikeouts. I think all of them have been looking so far today, or maybe one of them was swinging. As here's Amed Rosario back up to the top of the order here. And Shohei has almost faced the minimum through 3 innings so far. Amed Rosario is gonna swing and miss! I mean, gas, four-seamer inside. Rosario's got no chance to catch up to that one. And how about this start to this game right now from Shohei Ohtani? 4 strikeouts through 3 innings. And no score. Only 1 hit coming from Boston earlier in the game. So we're in the bottom of the 3rd inning now, and here's Victor Reyes. Didn't play a whole lot at all last year, but is now this team's starting outfielder, and he's going to fly this one shallow. Hernandez is not going to catch this one. He's going to play it in front of it, and that's the first hit of the season for Toronto. It is by their new center fielder there in Victor Reyes. Here he is, Eddie Rosario. It's his first at-bat in that's a stolen base for Victor Reyes. A very easy stolen base, honestly, there. The first at-bat right now for the newest member of the Toronto Firebirds in Eddie Rosario. And yeah, I mean, this was an easy play. The throw was not very good and not handled well by Amed Rosario in the first place there. But either way, and now 1-1 count here to Eddie Rosario, an RBI chance for him. And that's a ground ball. It's stopped, though, by Urias, and that is going to be the first out of the inning. And that doesn't do anything. That's not a productive out. The runner has to stay put there. Here's Christian Vasquez at the plate. And Vasquez here flies it into the outfield. It's fairly deep, but Biggio has a read on it, and he makes the play. Tagging from second and going to third is Victor Reyes. He moves up another 90 feet. And so now, I mean, a base hit is still going to have to score on here. As here's Miles Straw. 0 for 1 on the day. Second at bat. He had 37 stolen bases last year and 81 runs scored. Led this team on one of the top stolen base leaders in the AL. He's going to drive this one. This is deep. Hernandez on the move. Hernandez can't get there. That's over his head and off the wall. Victor Reyes walks on home. And Miles Straw with his first double of the season. 50 of those last year. His first one comes on opening day, and it's an RBI to put the Firebirds on the board for the first time in 2023. Big swing right there. Now that's a pop-up in the infield by Nico Horner. Trevor Story making that play. Ends the 3rd inning by Toronto on the scoreboard via a Miles Straw extra base hit. And into the 3rd inning, Firebirds up 1-0 with their first 2 hits of the 2023 season. So we head on to the 4th inning now, and here's Alejandro Kirk. He's coming up for his second at-bat of the game. Had that ground out last time. Shohei so far has been really, really good in this one. Nearly untouchable. A 1-2 pitch here to Kirk. It's a slider. Swung on and missed. There's number 6 for Ohtani here to begin the 4th inning. And, I mean, he's just so filthy. And, of course, you know what he can do with the bat. He's got an RBI Well, he does not. He doesn't have an RBI yet in this game, but you know he can do with the bat, and his first start of this season form right now is going really well. Here's Kyle Tucker at the plate. Full count pitch! It's a fastball at the top of the zone. That's there for strike 3. 7 strikeouts for Ohtani in 4 innings, and only 1 hit allowed so far tonight. So an absolutely excellent start, and speaking of Shohei, there he is again. He's starting off this inning now. He's 0 for 1 on the afternoon. That ball misses inside. The count is full to him now. Jesse Winker sitting on deck. Toronto getting that run in the 3rd inning here. Trevor Rogers so far been pretty decent, but that is a walk to begin the 4th inning for him. So Shohei reaches the bases after his 4 innings of work, and so now it's back to Jesse Winker. Strikeout victim last time up back in the 2nd, and it's another full count here. So there, 50th pitch of this game by Trevor Rogers, and it's another walk. 2nd one here to begin this inning, and he's running into some trouble here in the 4th. 2 on, nobody out for Pete Alonso. Had 32 home runs last year, and I mean the average was definitely down for him, but that's a 2-2 that is swung on and missed. That's a big strikeout for Trevor Rogers right there. That's only his 3rd of the game for the first down of the inning. So here's Candelario, and man, Toronto wanted to really get and take advantage of this opportunity. 1-0, that ball's in the dirt. It kicks away from Kirk, who's the throw to 3rd base is down and not going to be in time, and so the runners will move up there on that wild pitch. Base hit by Candelario will probably score both of them. Well, now a 3-1 pitch here, as that one is low, and it's ball 4. So that's a walk. The bases are loaded. It's the 3rd walk of the inning here for Trevor Rogers, and now it's down to Victor Reyes. We've already seen him get a single earlier in the game. He scored the only run of the night so far, and he's got another absolutely excellent RBI opportunity right here. Here comes the first pitch to Reyes. It's a fastball that is down below the knees. Ohtani, Winker, and Candelario, the guys on the base paths right now in this situation. And a 1-0 pitch is a ground ball. That one's going to get through the left side and into the outfield. Hernandez is up with it. Only 1 run is going to score. Ohtani comes in to make it 2-0 Toronto. Victor Reyes with a 2-2 start to his first really starting year here in Toronto with an RBI now, and that was just a pitch that was way outside, just reaching for it, and he was able to make contact. There's a ground ball. That's one out there. That's a huge double play to limit the damage to only 1. That could have been a much bigger inning, but the Firebirds do get another run on the board here at that Victor Reyes single, and we're done with 4 innings here tonight. Toronto's up 2-0. More panning to Shohei Ohtani in this ball game. Here is Trevor Story at the dish again, 0 for 1 in the game, like so many other hitters in this one tonight, as that's a ground ball. That one will get through and into left field. That's only the 2nd hit of this game by Boston, whose offense has been effectively shut down all night by Shohei in this game. And here's a reminder of that line. It's 4 innings for him so far, 2 hits, allowed no walks, 7 Ks, 65 pitches. Pretty darn good start to this season here for him. Well, here now is Kevin Biggio at the plate. 70th pitch to him. That's a ground ball that does get just past the diving Candelario. All the way to 3rd goes the batter there. That was Trevor Story going to 3rd base. Now there's man on the corners. Enrique Hernandez is going to swing and miss at a slider there down below the knees. And I mean, that's a fantastic pitch right there by Shohei, starting kind of towards the bottom of the zone and just curtailing down into an unhittable spot. That's a big K. Now it's 2-2 to Darren Ruff. That's a slider. That one misses, and it's low. They count full on him here. And 78 pitches for Shohei. Here's a big one, and that one misses. It's a 4-seamer for ball 4. Another walk, and, I mean, the manager here, yeah, this is definitely the most difficulties that we have seen Shohei run into here. This is a big spot right now for Boston and Mike Ford to try and get something off of Ohtani. First pitch to Ford, and this at-bat is a ground ball. It's back up the middle line, stopped by Nico Hoerner. He is going to start a double play to end the top of the 5th inning. Wow, that's a huge double play right there. And Shohei escapes the top of the 5th without giving up a run. Impressive stuff there. Now Trevor Rogers working in the bottom of the 5th. Ground ball, Rosario picks it up, but going and beating the throw was the batter. There was, I believe that was Nico Hoerner, who ends up beating this play out. And, I mean, not in a very effective route to the bowl there. I mean, Roberto Rosario started to come in on it, then had to kind of great race to his side. And so a man on, the inning continues. Now a stolen base attempt here, and he's going to get in there safely. Nico Hoerner with a stolen bag. He's now in scoring position for Ohtani, who's at the plate right now. But yeah, that was a bad throw by Kirk, and Hoerner had a good jump. So Shohei here, 3-1 to him. It's a fly ball. It's shallow into right center. Nobody's going to get to this one. Falls in front of Biggio. Scoring from second is Nico Hoerner. Shohei Ohtani's got his first hit and RBI of the campaign. And he's helping himself out a little bit on the mounds here. 3-0 Toronto in the 5th. So they just keep adding it to this lead 1 run at a time. And not sure how many more innings. Probably only 1 more frame for Shohei after kind of a rough 5th inning. That's a strike 3 called at the top of the zone for number 4 for Trevor Rogers. That's probably going to be his last inning of the day today. Pitched pretty effectively, honestly, but a few runs, a few clutch hits, and really big situations for Toronto, who are now up 3-0. So yes, Shohei trying to pitch 6 innings tonight, at least. Here's Alejandro Kirk. Line drive, that one does get through. That's going to be a single here, and hit number 4, I believe, for Boston tonight. And now there's a man on. Now 2 down in the inning. Kyle Tucker at the plate here. 2-1 to Kyle Tucker. That's another ground ball, and that one is going to easily get through as well to put 2 men on and 2 men out. Yeah, 89 pitches. This will probably be the last batter that Shohei will face in this game, and it's Trevor Story, who has had a 1-for-2 night so far. So 1-1 to Story. So line drive. Victor Reyes makes the play as the ball trying to dive down and hit the grass, but it doesn't get there. They hit that ball well, but it doesn't fall in, and that's another opportunity with runners on base. Boston just cannot take advantage of right there. So here's Gerardo Valenzuela, the rookie here. A 5'10" rookie, 171 pounds, I believe 22 or 23 years old, making his first appearance here in the major leagues in a 3-0 game. That's a line drive caught by Darren Ruff. They don't get a double play off of that. I believe that's Christian Vasquez that is there at first base for Toronto. But Venezuela's got his first couple of outs here. And up is Eddie Rosario, who does not have a hit yet as a Toronto Firebird. He's 0-for-2 so far in this game. 2-1 pitch, and that's a fly ball, and racing over, making that play, and getting to it is Hernandez in the left to end the bottom of the 6th. So that was a good one. Not a 1-2-3 inning, but a good inning by Valenzuela there to hold the game right where it is. But Boston's, you got to get on the scoreboard to have a chance to win the game. Shohei is still on the mound to begin the 7th inning. Fly ball and a slider. That one is going to be driven deep and off of the wall. Nearly went over the wall. That was almost a home run. It is a double, though, for Kevin Biggio. I believe that is Kevin Biggio there. That's his 2nd double of the game, I think. So now is Kike Hernandez 0-for-2 on the night. And there's a ground ball up to the right side, and they're going to hold. Okay, Biggio does not go around to try and score on that play. But that is the first hit for Enrique Hernandez here as a Boston Baron. Men are on the corners here. Nobody out. 100th pitch of the day here for Shohei Ohtani. And it's a curveball. Not an amazing location there. I mean, high and inside, but it does get the strike because Darren Ruff wasn't probably not expecting that pitch. 0-2. I don't know. I think one more mistake here by Shohei. Got to take him out of the game. But at this point, here's the 0-2 pitch. It's a slider. Swung on and missed. That is a clutch strikeout right there. Wow. Number 9 for Ohtani. I mean, he's allowed quite a few base runners in this game, but every time he's allowed base runners so far tonight, he has been able to manage them, and he's been able to work around them. And actually, that is going to be his last pitch of the day. We're going to go to the bullpen now here in the 7th inning. Well, he is responsible for both of the runners on base right now, but he is in line for the win. Even if those 2 runs score, unless the Firebirds lose this game, he will be in line for the victory. 6.1 really good innings for Ohtani tonight. As out comes Brad Boxberger. 35.1 innings and a 2.04 ERA and a sub-1 whip for him last year. He was very, very effective out of this Toronto bullpen. And here's Mike Ford at the dish now. And there's a swing and a miss. Oh, man, that is not what they needed right there. Boston just needed a fly ball, a ground ball, something to score, a run and get on the board, and a strikeout is a huge blow right there. Great pitch sequence here by Brad Boxberg. Everything inside, the last 3 pitches in and a low to Mike Ford. So now Armando Rosario is going to have to come through with a base hit. I mean, there's been 3 or 4 opportunities like this for Boston today. They got to come through right here. 0-1 pitch. It's a ground ball, but it's right to Nico Horner, or it's right to the second baseman. That's Miles Straw there playing second. And that is going to be the end of the top of the 7th. Wow, 7th inning stretch. Man, Boston's got 7 hits tonight and a few walks, but they still are not on the scoreboard, and that was a big time 0 right there. They cannot cash in on. 3-2 pitch. That's a curveball. That is called strike 3 to Miles Straw. And I don't know why they're not showing you a animation or giving you a notification about this, but yes, that is Eduardo Venezuela's first major league strikeout of his career. An unconventional pitch to get it on, but then he gets another strikeout here of corner on a curveball way inside. That pitch was nasty. And Eduardo Venezuela has been impressive here in his first couple of innings in the majors with a couple of strikeouts. Well, now Boston's down to the last 6 outs here in this ball game. Still only down by 3 runs. It's surmountable, but I mean, just based on the fact they haven't scored yet on all nights, it seems like more than just 3 right at the moment. That's a line drive speared by Pete Alonso. You know, Boston's had some of those hits like that, but they make some solid contact and it's just right to somebody. You go back to the fly ball that was right to the center fielder in a clutch situation in like the 5th or 6th inning of this game. And hold everything. We got a double switch actually happening here. And Firebirds are going to go back to the bullpen and bring out Lucas Sims. 46.1 innings, a 2.91 ERA, and a 1.08 whip for him last season. He was very good for Toronto, and he's looking to get at least 1 or 2 of these outs here, or the 2 outs here in this 8th inning. Maybe a matchup situation here to face Luis Urias. That's a good pitch by Sims there for strike 2. Count 1-2 here on him. And what does Sims come at him with here on this pitch? It's a slurve. Nasty pitch. Way in the dirt. Throw to first is going to get him. And a big-time strikeout by Lucas Sims. I think that's at least 11 or 12 Ks for Boston as a team today. They have been punched out quite a bit in this game. Here's Kyle Tucker. 1-2. That is going to run inside and drill Kyle Tucker there in the back. So that's a base runner. As Trevor Story is up to the plate. 1 for 3 with a single tonight. That was back in the 5th inning. Man on. 2 down. 1-2 to Story. It's a 4-seamer outside. Swing and a miss, and another strikeout. Lucas Sims gets 2 big ones to finish off the 8th inning. Man. Well, Venezuela, another good inning, and now Matt Barnes comes out. 42 out of 45 in save opportunities, 2.7 ERA 1.1 whip. And here's Cavan Biggio, definitely the most successful hitter for Boston tonight. 3 for 3 with a couple of doubles. Can he get on to start this 9th inning? That's a four-seamer there at the top of the zone for strike 2. Boston down to their last 3 outs here on opening day, looking to avoid a shutout. Here's the pitch. It's a knuckle curve. That was brilliant. And another strikeout. Now it's Enrique Hernandez, who's 1 for 3 on the day. And that's a curveball again. Another knuckler. That one's looking. What a pitch by Barnes there on the outside part of the strike zone. Look at where this one ended up going. Wow, that is a perfect pitch. Nothing that Hernandez could do with that one, and he's got 2 strikeouts to begin the 9th inning. That's a swing. That's a split. That was a very hittable pitch. Darren Ruff could not do anything with it. Now the count's at 2-2, so down to the last strike here. That curveball almost got in the strike zone. A good take right there by Darren Ruff. The count now full to him. Matt Barnes here looking to avoid a base runner. The 3-2 pitch is a fastball swing and a miss. Strike 3 and the ball game is over as the Firebirds finish off an opening day shutout win here. 4 pitchers combined for the shutout, I believe, for the Toronto Firebirds. Shohei gets the win. He doesn't give up a run. Taylor Rogers gets handed the loss, and Barnes gets the save. 3-0. An opening day victory for Toronto. And, man, Shohei had a big day. I mean, had a great night on the mound. Had an RBI as well in this one. Victor Reyes also had a couple of hits and an RBI as well. But, man, I mean, the story of this game is really the lack of opportunities taken advantage of by Boston. They had a lot of base runners in this game. They did not lack those, but they just couldn't get that clutch hit when it really mattered with runners in scoring position tonight. I mean, they finished with the same amount of hits as the Firebirds, but Toronto using their hits a lot more effectively in this game. And also the strikeouts. There's a lot of strikeouts tonight for Toronto as well. Cavan Biggio, the only multi-hit day for anybody on the Boston lineup tonight. And here's a look at Toronto's offense. You had Miles Straw with an RBI double. Shohei Ohtani had a base hit. Nico Horner was 1 for 4 as well. Alonso and Winker didn't get a hit at all. Winker did get on base with a walk. A hit by Candelario, 2 for 3 was Victor Reyes with an RBI. And then Rosario and Vasquez didn't get a hit at all either. So Ohtani, Reyes, and Straw with the ribbies there for Toronto. And yeah, I like this team's offense. I do like the addition of Eddie Rosario for this team. And, you know, Victor Reyes had a good day to start. We'll see what he can do this year. There's Ohtani. 6.1 brilliant innings, 7 hits, 1 walk. So kind of a lot of base runners, but 9 strikeouts. I mean, he got the win. He pitched really well. Brad Buxberger an inning, didn't give up a run. He got a strikeout. 15 Ks combined. Lucas Sims got 2 of them in his .2 innings of work, and then a strikeout on the side for the save by Matt Barnes in the 9th. And look at Boston, not a very effective offensive day. I mean, he had Kirk had a hit, Kyle Tucker had a hit, so did Trevor Story, but Cavan Biggio definitely the player of the game. I mean, 3 for 4 with 2 doubles. Tucker got on base with a hit by a pitch. The only other hit of the game belonged to Hernandez. Darren Ruff and Mike Ford did not get a hit at all. Darren Ruff did get on base, though. Yeah, I mean, I think Boston, it should be pretty good. I mean, I don't know. Their pitching staff is definitely going to be weaker. How much weaker? And in a better division this year, in my opinion, that's going to be a big factor for them this year and how they do. 5 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs, 3 walks, and 4 strikeouts for Rogers. Venezuela, 3 innings, 2 hits, 2 strikeouts in his first action as a major leaguer. Pretty good. Well, now we look at another game. We have another one. This is going to be shorter. We're not going to play the whole game here, but it is going to highlight a few of these players from the Spiders, San Francisco Spiders, and the Kansas City Monarchs in this one. So we are going to first look at the Monarchs here. And Kansas City, this pitching staff, you know, about the same as last year here. You got Aaron Nola. Remember, they re-signed him in the offseason. He was a free agent. And 210 innings for him last year. Very, very good season. And they signed him to a max contract for 4 years. So Aaron Nola is going to be with the Kansas City Monarchs here for a little while yet, and secured him with a really big boy contract there that over the off season. There was quite there's quite a lot of teams that were wanting to get him into the mix there, but they keep him. They got Kyle Hendricks coming back again after really a career year for him last year. Dane Dunning is there. He had a really good season, under a 3 ERA last year. Zach Gallen, the number 4 starter, looking to improve. He didn't really pitch that well last season. And then there's Emerson Hancock, who's going to be a full-time starter. His first year in the majors. He is a rookie, so we'll see how he does. And then the bullpen, you got Joel Payamps, a 3.57 ERA and 110 innings for him last season with a 1.29 whip. He was pretty good out of the bullpen. Carl Irvin was a long reliever all year for them. Last year, he didn't pitch that amazing. I mean, a 4.5 ERA is amazing. There's Andrew Chafin, and then Tim Bastar, a C potential 72 overall relief pitcher. Made his rookie debut last year. And then they got Will Harris, and I don't remember. I know Will Harris was traded somewhere, and then they signed him in free agency. I don't know what who Will Harris was traded for in that case. But anyway, they have him there, 73 overall. And then Dylan Floro as well. Mike Myers is this team's setup man for the year. 3.02 ERA, 19 holes in 59 innings. Last year was one of the better guys in this bullpen last season. Had a 1.19 whip, so he's in that role this year. And then Colin McHugh is going to remain as their closer. 35 years old, 49 saves last year, 3.62 ERA and a 1.07 whip. So, you know, he gave up quite a bit of hits. I think that was really kind of what killed him in the ERA department and why he gave up. He did give up 8 blown saves, but he's still a fairly reliable closer there for you. And then this farm system isn't super deep. You have Edward Cabrera, who's definitely their best pitching prospect. He's only 24. I think he's probably at least another year away from being in the majors. I mean, he's got good K per 9 at 69, good hit per 9 at 59, but his walk per 9, his home run per 9, and his clutch stats are not very good. So that's kind of concerning for me. I think he's going to need another year at least in the major leagues before he's going to be called up and going to be in this team. But he will be starting the year at AAA. Will be the best pitcher here, hopefully. And then AA, not really anybody at all. I mean, Yohan Duran could be a guy that figures in eventually in a few years, but not a lot of great top tier prospects there. And then the lineup here, you got Chris Taylor, of course, still leading it off. Then Brandon Nimmo, and then Yordan Alvarez. But this team's big, massive signing to this offense is Max Muncy. 32 years old, 90 overall. I mean, 90 and 88 power numbers. And they got it for really relatively cheap. I mean, only 4 years, $13 million basically a season. I think this is a great deal for the Kansas City Monarchs. He's one of the better first basemen in baseball. He had 27 home runs last year, 272 average with 91 walks, so a good 388 on base percentage and an 849 OPS. So, I mean, he's been a consistently really good hitter for almost his entire career. Has a career 855 OPS. So this is, really strong hitter. One of the better first basemen that there is in the league, and he was a top flight free agent, one of the biggest ones in free agency, and so that was a huge signing for them. And then they also got Andrew McCutchen from free agency. 36 years old, they got it from the Boston Barons. 84 power versus lefties, and 60 versus righties, 65 contact versus lefties, and 49 versus righties. He's going to be this team's DH a little bit. I mean, that's mostly what he's going to do, but he's got a lot of discipline, so he walks quite a bit. I mean, he had 64 of them last year, and he actually was one of the top RBI leaders on the team for Boston last season. He had 39 doubles as well. So, only 2 years, $4 million, so relatively a cheaper kind of contract for a guy that's nearing the end of his career, but he is also really has some really major milestones that he's going to try and get this season. He's almost at 2,000 career hits and almost at 300 career RBIs as well. So that's going to be something that we will definitely watch out for this season. And then you got Tommy La Stella, Austin Nola, Bobby Witt Jr. in his second year in the majors, is 76 overall. And then Trent Grisham there in the outfield and in center. So I really like this team's offense. I think that this is a very strong lineup and a very strong team overall. I think this team, they were good last year. They went into the wild card game last season, but I think that this team has a good chance of winning the division this year. And then they have Riley Green in the minors. He really did poorly last season. I mean, he had a 310 on base and a 232 average. He was just not very good. If Trent Grisham or another outfielder doesn't perform very well in the regular season, I'm not gonna be opposed to calling Riley Green back up and giving him some major league playing time again. He's a guy that, if there's an injury that occurs or just a guy is struggling, he's going to be that guy that I will call up, if that happens for them this season. But I kind of want him to get some more reps down there at AAA. And then the only other prospect that they have is Ronnie Mauricio, who, the contact ratings are pretty decent, the fielding ratings are pretty decent, but he's only got 26, 28 power, 36 vision, 27 discipline. I mean, the rest of those hitting stats are so low that I really think he's at least 3 or 4 years maybe away. I don't know how much he's going to really figure into this team. He's just a really underdeveloped hitter overall. So, yeah, their farm system isn't very good here in Kansas City, but I think that their actual team is really strong. So, there is that. And then we go to the Spiders offense here. You have Ozzy Albies and Fernando Cisneros. Adley Rutschman going into his second season in the majors there at first base. And then Kirk Casale, they re-signed him as a catcher in free agency to, I think, a 4-year deal. He, did pretty well last year, 21 home runs, 96 hits, a 317 on base, and a 764 OPS. Yeah, 4-year deal, $4.7 million for Kirk Casale. Tyler O'Neill in center field struggled offensively last year for sure. And then they got Patrick Wisdom in 82 overall. I mean, the power is really good for him. It only has 18 vision. A guy that, if he does well enough, I will maybe look to trade him. He just has really low trade value. 206 average and 278 on base is really awful for him. The guy that we're going to be really focusing on in this game for the Spiders is Colton Cowser, 72 overall, and a outfielder that can also play third base, but 66 Kind versus righties, 55 versus lefties, 35 and 29 power numbers, vision at 65. His fielding is really good, 80, 75, 75, and 77. So, yeah, Colton Cowser, 72 overall, and a potential hitter, and definitely a guy that I hope does well, and, a staple of this outfield you would think for a long time, so we'll see what he does in his rookie year. They also signed Brandon Belt as well. Brandon Belt played for Chicago last year and had a pretty decent season. He was about league average at a 699 OPS. He'll be in right field for them. And then they have Nico Goodrum, who they traded for last year. I can't remember who they got in that deal. Besides Nico Goodrum. I'm trying to remember, and I'm drawing a blank. I think that wasn't the Trey Mancini trade. That was somebody else last year. I'm not sure. But either way, there's also Jeremy Pena. And Jeremy Pena he was just terrible last year. Below 200 average, 260 on base, a 533 OPS. So, yeah, a 73 overall, 8 potential, 25-year-old guy. I definitely think that, he should really do well in AAA. He should dominate down here. And I want his stats to improve a little bit more. Because, and again, he's one of those guys like Riley Green. If there's an injury that happens in the majors, he's going to be a guy that I will look to call up. But I just cannot trust him in the majors right now because of how badly he performed last season. So we'll see how it goes for him in AAA. And then you got Matthew Barefoot, who is a big potential guy. I don't know what his potential is exactly, but he's a guy that, is a 71 overall. Maybe, I don't know if he's going to have a shot this year, but he's a guy that could figure in somewhere. And they got Jeremy De La Rosa. I believe that they traded for him as well. And I know they traded for Joe Adell. They got him. Oh man, they got him from Boston, I think. I feel like they got him from Boston, but either way, he's a good outfield prospect for them at a 66 overall. Got really good power versus lefties. 22 years old. I think he's probably at least a couple of years away, maybe 1 or 2. I know in real life he is playing in the majors for the Angels. I don't know why I blinked there for a while, but Yeah, he's a guy that couldn't figure into the team as well. That might have been the Trey Mancini trade when they got him. Actually, now I'm thinking about it. Either way, he's the pitching staff, and it's not very good. I'm just going to be honest. I mean, Chris Flexen is their ace. He's an okay pitcher, but not really ace material. They got Joe Ross from the Pilots, who was pretty decent last year, and then they got Gunnar Hoagland. I know they got Gunnar Hoagland from the Trey Mancini deal. They got Joe Adele in this regular season at some point. I can't remember what that trade was for, but either way, there's Gunnar Hoagland. Not great at really anything, but pretty average and pretty good at everything there. A 70 overall. He's going to be making his rookie debut this year. And then you got Ian Seymour, who I believe is a prospect on this team as well. I mean, beat potential is 24 years old. And then Ryan Pepio, 25 years old, a potential prospect. Good hit per 9 and K per 9 at 63 there. But yeah, we'll see how he does as a rookie, as a long reliever for them. And then this bullpen hasn't really changed very much. You got Dominguez, Samuel Christian, or Krypton. Kyler Tyler is also going to be, a young guy. I don't know how well he will do, but Yimi Garcia as well. Trevor Rosenthal is here also. And then the closing pitcher is going to be James Chernchak, who, had a 4.93 ERA last year. So, I don't know. This bullpen is a little bit concerning, honestly. I don't know how good it's going to be. I mean, this team is ranked 29th, so they're not supposed to be very good this season in general. And I think that the bullpen and the pitching is going to be really an area that they struggle in this season. But we'll have to see. But here we are in the Monarchs Corn and opening day, and so we will focus on Max Muncy. We will focus on Andrew McCutchen and then Colin Cowser as well. So we're here in the quick managing here. There's a double by Brandon Belt. Okay, he's going to start off his career here in San Francisco with an extra base hit. Base hit by Adley Rutschman. That's a strikeout. Kirk Sally can't bring home a run via the sac fly. Now Chris Flexen starting the inning off. And that's a home run. Yordan Alvarez crushing a bomb to begin the season for him. That's a good sign for Kansas City. And here now is Max Muncy, his first AB here as a Monarch. Let's see the first pitch to him. And that's a fly ball, and it's to straightaway center, and that is going to be caught. So Max Muncy not wasting any time. Only a 9-pitch inning there by Chris Flexen in the first. They get a run. Now we go to Colin Cowser, making his Major League debut, his first start in the majors here, his first at-bat, and he's going to be facing one of the best pitchers in baseball, and Austin Nola right here, as that is a ball that misses. It's 3-1. Or Aaron Nola. Austin Nola is the catcher for this team. 3-2 pitch to Cowser. It's a single change down below the knees. That was a great pitch there by Nola for the second strikeout. And, pretty filthy there. I think he was a little out in front of that pitch. I mean, the timing wasn't bad, but that's just such a dangerous pitch there. As here's Andrew McCutchen. 17 home runs, a 736 OPS last year for him, beginning their bottom of the second inning. First pitch, and that's a fastball. He does, in fact, go around on it, or maybe it was a called strike. Either way, strike one. 53 WAR for a guy that's probably going to be a Hall of Famer when he retires. I mean, that's probably a few years away for him in this game, but he does get a base hit, so there's his first knock as a Kansas City Monarch right there. Good swing from McCutchen for his first hit. So still 1-0. We're now in the bottom of the third. And the corners, one out for Max Muncy, and a good RBI opportunity for him right here. 0-1. It's a ground ball to Flexen. Flexen's got it, and he's just going to go to first base to get the out. And yeah, I mean, I looked at the replay, and I definitely should have thrown it home in this situation. I would have got the runner at home trying to break to the plate right there in that situation. So that was probably on me. That run probably shouldn't have scored, but either way, that is an RBI for Max Muncy. I guess that's one way to do it. Now McCutchen is up again. There's a ground ball, a two-hopper to Nico Goodrum. Good scoop at first base by Adley Rutschman to end the third inning. Kansas City does get a run there off of that ground out by Max Muncy, so not a hit, but an RBI for his first one as a Kansas City Monarch. Here's Colin Cowser up again. in the top, or in the bottom of the 5th inning. And over in the top half, as that's a swing and a miss. I mean, yikes. Way out in front of that pitch was Cowser there, and there might be a bit of a learning curve for him. I mean, this is a great pitcher that he's facing here. A 0-2, a 50th pitch from Nola is a ground ball, but it's right to Bobby Witt Jr. That's an easy play to end, or to get the first out of the 5th inning. So now we're in the bottom of the 6th. Here's Muncy again, 0-2, of course. Got the RBI ground out last time up. And Chris Flexen's still pitching. I mean, he's pitching pretty well tonight, overall, honestly. 2-0. That is going to miss a 4-seamer outside. So, ball 3. The count now 3-0. 3 balls, 1 strike now to Muncy. Here it comes. And that one is inside. Way inside for ball 4. So that's the first base runner, or the first time reaching base for Muncy here this season. And it's up back up to McCutchen. And I don't know why I didn't show you his at bat there, but Andrew McCutchen didn't do anything in that plate appearance. Now we're back to Colton Cowser in the top of the 7th. That's a swing and a miss at a ball way in the dirt for strike 3. And this has not been a great debut for Colton Cowser today. But, I mean, the entire San Francisco offense has not been able to do much of anything against Nola in this one. So that's strike 3. A great speed pitch at the knees to Nico Goodrum for the strikeout. And, man, how about 7 innings of strikeout ball by Aaron Nola so far? Only has allowed 3 hits tonight. He's got the first 2 outs here in the 8th inning. He's only got 85 pitches right now. And here's the 0-1. It's a ground ball, and it's just going to be fair down the line. And that's the end of the 8th inning. So how about Austin and Nola here, or Aaron Nola, trying to complete a shutout to begin his season here. Here's Max Muncy up against Ryan Pepio, who has been pitching well out of the bullpen for his first time this season. He did pitch a little bit last year. That's a pop-up in the infield, and that's an out. So not a hit for Max Muncy tonight, unless this game is extended. But, you know, not a hit for him on his first day as a Monarch, as Andrew McCutchen comes to the dish. 1 for 3 tonight with a single. There's a fly ball. Tyler O'Neill is over. He's going to settle under it and makes that play to end the 8th inning. So only a 1 for 4 day for Andrew McCutchen. I mean, not really anybody on offense doing much of anything for either side. But San Francisco now 3 outs away from getting shut out here on opening day. They do have 3, 4, and 5 in this 9th inning to try and get something going. Here's Adley Rutschman. 2 for 3 tonight. One of the most successful hitters probably of the day for either one of these teams, especially for San Francisco. Line drive. Man, Francisco Alvarez. No, that's not his name. But didn't even have to move out there in the outfield, was Jordan Alvarez. That's ball 4. So there's a walk. And, I mean, 1 out here, 96 pitches. Trying to get Aaron Nola to complete this ball game. Here he is, Tyler O'Neill. 0-2 pitch here. Ground ball, and Lastella's got it. And he just goes to first base. I mean, maybe you get the force out at second, but you probably don't get a double play in that situation. And there's now 2 down in the inning. So, San Francisco down to their final out as Patrick Wisdom is going to swing and miss at a 4-seam fastball. That is strike 3, and that's the end of the ball game. Complete game shutout for Aaron Nola in this game tonight. What a fantastic pitching performance. And the Monarchs win their season opener against the Spiders 2-0. I mean, not a lot of offense for Kansas City either. Only 6 hits total, but, man, only 3 hits all day for San Francisco in this game. And you didn't see any tonight from Colton Cowser. He's going to have to wait another day for that, his first Major League knock. Adley Rutschman had 2 of the 3 hits tonight for San Francisco. Brandon Belt had the other one. It was the only extra base hit of the game. And there's Flexen. 6 innings, 6 hits, 2 runs, only 1 earned, 1 walk, and 3 strikeouts, a 1.5 ERA. I mean, that's a good outing for Chris Flexen in this one. And then Ryan Pepio, 2 innings, 2 strikeouts, 5 total in this game. He did well also out of the bullpen. And then you look at Kansas City, and not a lot of offense here either. I mean, a home run by Yordan Alvarez, an RBI ground out by Max Muncy, a double by Chris Taylor, but that was about it for Kansas City tonight. But Austin Nola was absolutely incredible. I mean, 9 innings, a shutout game here, no runs given up, and 3 hits. An absolute masterclass on the mound. Yeah, I mean, 4 walks, so only 7 total base runners win a game for Aaron Nola. And that's going to do it for me, everybody. Aaron Nola, I mean, he's making sure he lets Kansas City know I was worth that max deal that you gave me in the offseason for sure. But thank you guys for watching this episode, everybody. Sorry again. I mean, there's been a long wait between the last few episodes, and that might be just what happens in this summer. I'm pretty busy, way busier than I expected, honestly. So I'm sorry about that. But I hope you keep watching these videos. Hope you keep sticking with them. And I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you are not subscribed yet, do that so you're notified of when I come out with new videos. I hope everybody's had a great weekend, and I will see you next time here. You've been listening to Lucas from Mars. Have a great day, everybody, and God bless.